Okay. Well, how many of you, by show of hands, have used this form in the past? How many of you have done One Thing Mentoring before? Any of you? Okay, brand new. Well, let me go ahead and just lay a quick groundwork so that you have some context and it makes a little more sense. Natalie and I were mentoring a lot of our team members several years ago when it occurred to me that there is a series of beliefs that are necessary in order for people to advance in doTERRA. And we call those series of beliefs the belief summit, or we also call it belief levels. So have some of you seen the belief levels before? Maybe they were in the Share Success system and now they're in the Empowered Success system. And it's that's the framework, or at least the philosophy behind the entire Empowered Success system. So we know that the belief is what determines action. Belief is the driver behind every action we take. And so it's important for people to learn about the right things at the right time and to come to understand them so that they can take appropriate action and be the most effective. So just to review the Belief Summit, the first and most foundational belief is in the product. We have to be living the lifestyle, valuing the products that doTERRA has to offer, and really loving it in order to be influential and to have any success as we share. So that's what we call being a product of the product. So that's the first foundational belief to get to elite. The next thing that we found is crucial is to believe in the company and the opportunity. So this has to do with having confidence in the ownership, the management, the direction of the company, the space that we're in as an industry, and the opportunity. We have to believe that we're going to have results and fruits from the work that we do. So we have to believe in the comp plan. We have to understand and really trust that it's going to pay out the way it says it does. So that's the second level. And that can get us to Premier. To get to Silver requires a belief in yourself and a self-confidence, a belief that it doesn't have to be like, I'm very charismatic or I'm very, very self-confident. It's simply a belief that you can get to Silver, that you can achieve some level of success. And then at Gold, it starts to become more about your belief in others. So this is believing in your builders. And then Platinum, believing in your team. This is when it starts to be more about a sense of community and creating that connection at a team level. And then at Diamond, this is when you have to believe in your why. And you have to be able to be influential and move others with your why. At Blue Diamond, you have to believe in your influence and your ability to influence others. I love what John Maxwell said. He said that leadership is influence, nothing less, nothing more. So that's Blue Diamond. At Presidential Diamond, you have to believe in your legacy. And what we mean by legacy is your ability to influence beyond just those in your immediate circle. Thank you. Sorry, there's two on the printer that are filled out. Presidential, this is when you start to have influence, multiple levels down in your organization and even outside of your team. So does that make sense? The thinking behind this mentoring forum, the Belief Summit? Nod your head, or does that make sense? Any questions so far about the Belief Summit or how that works? Thank you. Okay, you guys are quick learners. So when we do One Thing Mentoring, This is a form that we like to use with leaders on our team who are maybe not our frontline. So one thing mentoring is really nice when we want to get a quick snapshot of where somebody is in their business and what's the one thing they could focus on to help them move forward and build with success to the next level. So, so the first instruction is to check the rank that you're hitting organically. And what we mean by organically is without a BOGO month or without your buy-in or anyone from upline, buying extra product, what rank do you hit? And so, and then starting that level, rate your belief in that first column, the belief column, and then rank yourself on the next section, which is the actions as well as the characteristics that go along at that rank. So this belief summit is much more than just a bunch of abstract, fluff about what you believe, but it's also what things do you need to be doing and doing well to progress. So we have you rate yourself at each of these levels, and that helps us see what you need to focus on for this next season of your business. So let's go ahead and start with Verena, and we can, is now a good time, Verena, or do you want to come back when you've got less kiddos?
If it would be possible to have the others first.
Absolutely.
Would be nice, because I guess she will be sleeping in a while, but not now.
Not a problem at all. Just
okay.
Beautiful to see your lovely little faces there.
Andy understands things like this because he has 7 of them, and a really great respect. We only have 2.
We have respect for anybody who takes on parenthood. It's a big job. So, okay, Kirsten, would you be willing to go next?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm looking at your form, and it shows that organically you're hitting Premier. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so the scores that you gave yourself, you believe in the company opportunity, you gave yourself a 10. And then integrity, an 8. Present the message, a 6. And then growing trust to enroll, you gave yourself a 7. So currently you have pretty high scores all across the top. What I like to do when I'm mentoring is simply ask I first look for the lowest number at each level, and then ask the question, what would it take for you to move that number, the 6, about presenting the message, up even just 1 score? What could you do to improve your ability to present the message?
Matthias, kannst du mir das letzte jetzt bitte übersetzen? Ich habe das nicht alles verstanden. Was ist jetzt?
I have to put in my microphone. I just translate for Kerstin.
Perfect.
Also, was sozusagen Andy macht, ist, er guckt sich sozusagen die Zahlen an und guckt sich sozusagen an, wo ist die niedrigste Zahl. Und das ist bei Christian Present the Message. Und jetzt ist sozusagen die Frage, was kann man tun, um diese Zahl nach oben zu kriegen, um dieses Thema zu verbessern.
Also da geht es um diese Botschaft präsentieren.
Ganz genau.
Ja. Ja, da habe ich halt bis dato, und das habe ich dir ja auch gesagt gehabt, nicht jetzt drüber nachgedacht, Botschaft präsentieren. Also ich bin praktisch rausgegangen und habe die Öle, ne, habe die Leute...
Jetzt reden wir erstmal über Christian, ne? Zu dir kommen wir gleich, Kerstin. Machen wir erstmal Christians. Christians Thema ist das sozusagen to present the message, also die Botschaft zu präsentieren. Wie rede ich über die Öle? Aber jetzt ist Christian erstmal dran, danach kommen wir dann zu deinem Zettel. Ja?
Aha, okay.
Okay. So,
what would she need to do to improve your belief in your ability to present the message? So
Uh,
6, and we want you to be higher, or that could be the one thing for you. What could you do to increase your belief in yourself to present the message?
yeah, the problem is not the message, the problem is myself. Mir fehlt da in dem Moment das Selbstvertrauen. Wenn ich,
he has a lack of self-confidence.
yeah, genau, that's right. So,
Perfect.
so if it's inside my family and my friends, it's no problem. But if there are strange people in front of me, then I have a lack of words.
Okay. Perfect. So it sounds like you have confidence in the product. There's no, that's not the problem is product. It's confidence in yourself.
Right.
Okay. Is that true for you too, Kirsten?
Yes, I think it's the same as Christian's problems.
Okay.
Yeah. With friends, I have no problem, but with people, I don't know how to say it.
Strangers.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you have no problem sharing with friends and family, but it's harder with new people, with strangers.
Yes.
Okay. Is that because you're worried about what they might think of you?
Yes, that's a part of it. That I'm starting to thinking what they may think of me. That's one point. And the other point is then I get very nervous and forget what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Then it begins. I got more and more nervous, and then it's finished.
Okay, that's a good awareness. I'm glad that you know that you can kind of step outside the situation and see what's happening. So when you present, I would invite you to think less about yourself and more about them. So pretend like you're not even in the room, you're just an observer that needs to solve their problem by learning more information.
Ist das ungefähr verstanden? Maybe I translate. That's a very good point, I think. Was Andy sagte war,
Ich soll in die Beobachterrolle gehen und das quasi von außen anschauen, was ich denen bieten kann als Lösung.
that's good. Okay.
Yeah, I spoke with my upline, with Michael, and on Friday we are going to train. We will train it before the meeting, only we two, and then be at my side when I do practically.
Okay. So when you're by yourself, do you sometimes worry that I don't do it as well as my upline? That I can't share the way they share?
I can't. They do it much more better.
Okay. So I would invite you to release the need to do it the way they do it. You have your own skills, you have your own gifts in terms of connecting with people and finding their needs and meeting their needs. So I would say let go of the need to do it the way they do it.
Okay.
So this is one of the things I love in our business model is we get to do it in our own way. We get to add our own personality, our own strengths, and we're not employees, right, or factory workers who have to do it a certain way. We get to be our own selves. I look at Matthias and Sabine and the way they run their business, and it's very different from Adish and Santoshi, right? They each have very different styles and personalities, and they both work. And the same thing is true of me and Natalie. You know, we're probably even different from both of them. So be willing to discover your way of connecting and serving. Does this make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. There's probably another point when I speak with people, I have the feeling to miss the right point to enroll them. So I think either I'm too early or too late. So
Interesting.
I don't know whether it's only my feeling or it's right.
So during the conversation, you're worried about either enrolling them too soon or too late. Okay. On your page, you rated yourself a 5 on your ability to enroll, or your belief in your ability to enroll. How well are you doing? I mean, it looks like you're a premier. It sounds like you're effective. You are enrolling people, right?
Right.
So
yeah, that's why I have a big network. I know a lot of people, and if I know people, it's no problem. Only if they're strangers.
Okay. So with strangers, what's the concern? Is the concern that they won't enroll, or is the concern that they'll think you're being pushy? What's the concern about the timing of the enrollment?
Matthias, den letzten Satz habe ich nicht verstanden.
Worüber machst du dir Sorgen beim Timing? Dass du sozusagen, dass du nicht den richtigen Ton findest oder das richtige Timing oder den richtigen Zeitpunkt oder dass du nicht die richtige Sprache findest. So was meinst du? Was ist der Punkt, wo du unsicher bist?
Das richtige Timing.
The right timing. So where is the point where I can take out the price list and the enrollment sheet and
Right.
Okay. So do you mostly teach classes in a group, or do you mostly do one-on-one meetings with people?
I do both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, generally, do you follow the class outline that that we have on the is the Empowered Success released yet in German?
No.
Not yet.
But we do basically the same, yeah.
Okay, so you're familiar.
We created a sheet on our own, German, but it's basically the same.
Okay, great. So you're familiar with the class that we teach or that Matthias is referring to, and I assume that there's a point in that presentation, Matthias, that you naturally ask for the enrollment.
Yeah, it's basically in the end when you ask for questions and about the products. Then what we usually do is like explain the price list, and then we explain the enrollment kits, and then we go into one-on-ones to see what fits best for each of them. And of course, this month we have 20% discount.
That's the same process that we use. That's the same process that we use when we teach in a class setting. We stay together as we go over the content of the class, and then we say and then we say to the whole group, we'll be coming around and helping you choose the right kit for you, and answering any questions. And so then we go around and we help address concerns or talk through specific needs, and we help them get signed up. So that's what works well in a class setting. In a one-on-one, you know, the conversation might take a less structured path, right? You might spend more time talking about them and let them talk more about their specific health and their needs. So in a one-on-one, there's less structure, but I would still try to cover the same content before asking for the enrollment. Is this been your experience as well, Matthias?
Yes.
So that would be my my coaching there is there's not one magical time to ask for the enrollment, but you know, try to cover the content of the class, even if it's a one-on-one, and then ask. This morning, I was doing a success coaching call with Tiffany Peterson, and she used the language that asking for the close is like bringing a pot of water to boil. So if you get 90% of the way to boiling and then turn the heat off, then people are confused. And so it's the natural conclusion of this conversation. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it sounds like maybe with a little practice of going over the class. I mean, it sounds to me like you're doing well, and I don't have any concerns. But how do you feel about practicing that in your classes and your one-on-ones?
I feel better in the one-to-one situation than in a class. Because in a one-to-one situation, it's more specific what people tell me, and I can react to this. In a class, if I have six or seven persons in front of me, sometimes one is describing his problem, and the others look around, so I can catch them all in this moment. Mm. And this is also a point for me to get nervous.
Mm-hmm. So one thing that we've found is helpful is when you're teaching a class to have multiple wellness advocates there who can help have the one-on-one conversations. We also find that it's helpful to have some snacks for people so that it's natural for them to stay and linger and chat while we go around. And so, but it is nice if you can have like maybe one wellness advocate for every 3 attendees, you know, so if you've got 6 people, it'd be good to have 2 wellness advocates to help them with the enrollment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And as far as snacks, we like to keep it really simple. We just slice some apples and put it in water with a couple drops of On Guard. And it's very delicious, very simple, very inexpensive. People love it. Mm-hmm. So don't think you have to make a big batch of brownies or cake or anything fancy. I mean, you could even do tea probably and with oils to add. Matthias, anything you would add on what you found works well with closing a class?
Yeah, for me, I think it's also important to have this deep feeling of this is really good for them. Even sometimes people don't know what's good for them. Yeah? Mm-hmm. This sounds a bit strange to Germans, to tell others what's good for them. Mm-hmm. But
that's right.
This inner feeling, this deep inner feeling of this person maybe is not quite sure about the odds right now, but I am sure about it. And so there's nothing wrong about it to enroll somebody. even if somebody's not 100% sure, yes, I want the oils. Most people are not, yes, I want the oils. One out of 10 maybe, yeah? They smell it. But the others 9 are not really. They are a bit suspicious and maybe, but it's the best thing they can do for their health and everything.
I like to think of the oils as gifts in a big red sack, and I'm Santa Claus. And so it helps me to think I'm the one who has these amazing gifts to share with people, and they just don't know yet. They don't know how precious these gifts are. They don't know how important it is for them to have them in their home. But you know, that helps me with my confidence. That helps me with asking for the enrollment, to think of myself as Santa Claus. Another leader says, "You've got the cookie." You know, you're the one that's holding the thing that's so valuable and that everybody wants. So don't worry about them and what they're thinking, because you've got the cookie. So that's another way to think of it.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
I'll try.
You're doing great. Clearly, you're having great success if you've gotten to Premier. So let's go back to Kirsten. On the next level, you've rated yourself 10 for your belief in the product, a 10 for courage, an 8 for sharing experiences, and a 3 on inviting people to change lives. So Matthias, I don't know if, well, let me just ask you, this would be simpler. You gave yourself a 3 on inviting to change lives. Why the low score?
I never thought about this point.
I didn't get that. Was nochmal?
Ja, ich habe dem ja die 3 gegeben, darüber haben wir ja gesprochen, als du mir das erläutert hast. Und ich hatte ja bis zu dem Zeitpunkt einladen, Leben zu verändern. Diesen Punkt, der war bei mir gar nicht, da habe ich nie drüber nachgedacht.
Yeah, she never thought about it. To change others.
Der war komplett neu für mich. Das erste Mal auf diesem Papier gesehen. Weil ich habe immer nur über die Öle halt gesprochen und was sie können und habe die einzeln vorgestellt. Und das war wichtig für mich. Oder habe Leute gefragt, ob sie ein Schmerzproblem, Schlafproblem, es gibt ja diese Kategorien, die die meisten haben, aber jetzt praktisch Leben, wie heißt das
also,
hier?
Kerstin, du musst mir mal ein bisschen Zeit geben zum Übersetzen, weil ich kann mir so viel nicht mal merken. Ich bin schon ein alter Mann. I need some time, just a few sentences that I can translate because I'm quite an old man. But what Kerstin said was that she talks about the oils and about how to use the oils for certain things, but I've never had the idea that she could change the life of other people.
Awesome. Well,
Großartig.
What's that?
Großartig means awesome.
Oh, okay, great. So when we share the oils and we invite people to truly take them into their lifestyle, then we are asking them if they'd like to change their lives. This is not, ideally, this is not just an emergency kit that we're putting on the shelf in case of an emergency. Ideally, if we're truly teaching the lifestyle, then we're teaching people how to use the oils every day, and the other supplements and the skincare and the whole product line is about a way of living. And so it is, even when we're asking people to enroll, we are inviting them to change first their lives. Then if And this is all in the Empowered Success System. You'll notice at the end of the class, the end of the share guide, the end of the build guide, everything, we're always inviting at every stage, right? Even, of course, we invite people to attend a class, we invite them to a one-on-one, but at every interaction, our privilege is to always be inviting to more, inviting them to engage more, to learn more, to be more, and to do more. So, so that's the first way, is we invite them to change their own lives. Generally, after they've had some positive product experiences, we ask them if they'd like to change other people's lives, if they'd be open to sharing products with others so they can have the same benefits, the same life-changing experiences. And then if they're open, we ask them if they'd like to change many lives by building a business, by creating a residual income, and by supporting things like co-impact sourcing. Is that making sense?
Yes.
All good? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Sometimes I go on for too long and I forget to stop for translation. So, so really, doTERRA's mission is to change and bless lives. And it starts with the individual, and then it grows to the family or the circle of friends, and then to the community, and then to whole nations. So that's how we're growing so much, is because of that commitment to lifting and changing lives. So I think it's very valuable to add that kind of language to our presentations, because people want to get involved in good causes. In fact, I still remember we were doing some mentoring with Matthias's team, and there was a couple people who have done a lot of work with refugees, and their hearts were very passionate about helping those in need. And I find that that's true almost everywhere I go. Everyone wants to help other people. That's one of the most basic human desires that we have. So if we help people connect doTERRA and how doTERRA helps change lives, then we can help them see the possibility of sharing and building and joining you on your mission to change lives. I especially love co-impact sourcing and how it's so simple to change the lives of the growers and the harvesters and the beautiful people who are providing these oils for us every time we purchase, even for our own use. Every time I put on vetiver, just last night, I was having a hard time sleeping. So I poured vetiver on my feet and my neck because, and I remembered the people that we visited when we were in Haiti, and how beautiful those people were and how much need they had. And we get to support those people every time we use doTERRA's products. So, I think you have a huge opportunity to share that message in every presentation, whether it's a class or a one-on-one or a business training. We get to change lives, and it's a beautiful thing. Any questions about that so far? Okay, fantastic. So question number 2 is where you want to be, and you've marked diamond. So the next question, 3, what belief or action needs to shift to get there? And you've already identified the 2 lowest, which are present and inviting to change lives. So I asked the question, what one thing can you focus on that will move you toward your next rank? And you said presenting in an authentic and confident way. So I love how in mentoring, I don't have to know the answers for you, because the answers are in you. You know what's needed to go to the next level. And so good mentoring is not about, the mentor being a genius. It's about just asking questions and drawing it out of people. So each of you can do this type of mentoring with your team and with your people, your friends, and even cross-line or even upline. And simply by asking questions, you can change their lives. So what support do you need? You'd like some training with your upline so that you can see how to improve your presenting. So how do you feel about the ideas we've already talked about to show people how doTERRA changes lives as you present?
Matthias, kannst du das erst nochmal jetzt übersetzen?
I have to translate. Sozusagen die Frage war, wie kommst du, weil du hattest auf deinem Zettel geschrieben, die Frage war, was brauchst du, um auf das nächste Level zu kommen? Deine Antwort war, ich müsste mehr üben, sozusagen zu präsentieren. Und was Andy sagte war, der entscheidende Punkt ist sozusagen darüber, das einzubauen, was das Leben anderer Leute verändern kann. Zum Beispiel über Co-Impact Sourcing zu sprechen. Dass du da mehr Gefühl für kriegst, sagen sich dir die Filme anguckst,
ja.
Und solche Dinge und das einfach mal übst. Also ich glaube, I think just to Andy, just rehearsing with a friend you know. Yeah? What I really liked in Eric Worre's book is that he says, go to someone who's a friend of yours and ask him if he's willing to listen how you do it and to give you feedback about the way you do it. So maybe this is das wäre vielleicht eine Idee, jemand anderen zu fragen, den du kennst, und das mit ihm zu üben und der wird sozusagen Feedback.
Great idea. Yeah, I love, when we have true friends, they want what's best for us, and they're the perfect and safe space for us to practice on, right? And to give us the kind of feedback that we want to improve ourselves. So, Kirsten, let me ask you this question. Do you still feel like that you want more mentoring from your upline on improving your presenting?
Yes, Matthias told me that perhaps I could do a Zoom meeting with his wife, because she has when she has a presentation, after the presentation, she has a lot of new Einschreibungen. Was ist das?
Yeah, enrollments.
Enrollments, yeah.
Great idea. Yes. Let's
So,
see.
what we also plan is we are doing a webinar about presentations, how to present. First steps into business. And part of it is present the message. And Sabine will do it because she's brilliant. So, and what we also thought about is, but Kerstin is living 600 kilometers away from us. So, but I think this, to do rehearsals, it's better to do it live. It's not so good on Zoom, I think. Or what do you think, Andy?
Yeah, Zoom's a great idea. I love how Zoom lets you, be in the same space and see body language and feel like you're there. So I think it's a great idea.
Yes, but I'm also very happy. We are going to Freiburg. This is a fair. And so Matthias is also there. And I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. Because, it's one thing I can do really good is talking to strangers.
That's great. Yes, I love that about you and Sabine. That's great.
So on a fair, it's a good training platform to just people passing by. We never saw them before in our lives, and we just start talking to them.
That's great.
We have 3 days.
Oh wow.
For training.
Wow, that's a good training.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like stepping outside your comfort zone to do some real learning and growing. There's no growth inside the comfort zone.
Yes, but it's very difficult because in Hamburg and in the north, they have all the time meetings and presentations, but I'm here near Frankfurt. So
long ways away.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, it sounds like you have a great plan and a perfect upline to support you in all of this, and a great plan for practicing at the event. So I wish you the best. It sounds like presenting the message with confidence is your one thing. And inviting, in your presenting, always inviting people to take the next step, inviting them to take the products into their life, to share the products with others, to build residual income with doTERRA. This is the one thing for you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
letting us do some Q&A with you.
Thank you.
Okay. Verena, is now a good time to work with you?
It has to.
Okay, great.
My oily baby has always to be prepared.
Yes, always be prepared. Okay, so
it seems that he's going to sleep.
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm showing that currently you've got silver is the rank that you're organically hitting with your belief in you at a 7, your belief in your commitment at an 8, your success habits as an 8, and then your certainty, you put a 7. So your goal is to be gold and then platinum by convention of next year. You said your the belief or action that you need to get there is belief in the products and your ability to enroll. So
Yes.
is that right?
Yes. The first sheet you got was just the enrolling thing. I had a long break by enrolling by myself. I was quite good in supporting others to enroll and to make evenings for them to enroll their own people, stuff like this. And enrolling my own friends was a little bit awkward for a while, and it's still. And now I found it's interesting to be with the strangers. Has become has become easier. I don't know why, but this is now my thing, and the enrolling thing is has become a lot better. But by becoming better in enrolling, which was my first problem, I came always over. I always hit some moments where I really had doubts in the products because people were consistently telling me the LIV. I tested LIV. I had nothing, no effects, nothing. I tried to sleep better with Serenity, Lavender, Vetiver, nothing helped. LIV, nothing helped. And I had so many now. He told me nothing helped. And this is actually not my motivation to do doTERRA. I want the products to work, but I consistently hear that it doesn't work, and it makes me crazy. Yeah, and, it makes me hesitate to talk with people. I had a really, really nice meeting with people who were very interested, and they all had the problem not to be able to sleep. Of course, I was telling about Serenity, Lavender, LED, stuff like this, but in deep in myself, I wasn't sure whether it would help them or not. And this is not really nice.
So have you heard back if it has helped them or not? Or have they tried it?
That was quite a new, they still don't have the oils. So one of them has lavender now, but I didn't hear about it. So I will hear from it. But I do have some friends when lavender, serenity, energy didn't help. So it increases my insecurity about people buying stuff, even though they don't have much money, and hoping that this big problem in their life will go away. They are willing to change lives. And I cannot stand behind it when I consistently have people where it do not work.
Right. Yeah, obviously we need to believe in a product if we're going to share it. So that totally makes sense. What are some of the other products that you've used and had great experiences with?
For myself, I do sleep very fine. For instance, if we have the sleeping topic, I love lavender. I love LLD. I'm totally a big fan of the LLD because I noticed needing an hour less than before. I noticed that I almost don't need any oils because I never get sick. When I take it, when I forget about it for 3 days, I get sick again. So this is one of my favorite experiences. Also this antibiotic bomb, mixing this. I had many experiences in my team, and I have a really, really great builder who, maybe you know her, Nadia. You have seen her, but I know you see many people. So, but she really has made many positive experiences consistently. So that keeps me high, motivated. But yeah, so I do have many experiences.
Yeah.
But also, I know not always it works.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like you've already had some great experiences with the product. It sounds like it's really just the one issue of sleep that that you're still kind of looking for just the right solution for yourself. Is that right?
And that was just an example which has become quite big in the last 2 weeks. But also I had 2 friends who were not really happy with the LLV. I also had some experiences with emotional oils. Yeah, when people said, well, this balance stuff does not help me, it does not change anything. And I also consider it as not an easy thing to say, I take this oil and then I have this effect. You cannot really make this cause effect thing very easily with the oils.
Yeah. Well, I love that you're bringing this up. This is something that it's taken me a long time to understand. The oils are they're a unique product. Many other companies offer like a juice or a supplement, and that's kind of their only real product. The oils are very different. from that. The oils have such a rich and varied chemistry. So one thing that I've learned from Dr. Hill is that our bodies are as different on the inside as they are on the outside. So that's why all of the oil reference guides make multiple recommendations, because the oils are not one size fits all. Lavender might work great for one person and not at all for another person. Roman chamomile may be great for sleep for one person and not for another. So that's why the oils, the reference guides start with one oil as a top recommendation, and then a second and a third and fourth, and some of them go, 5, 7, 10 recommendations, because that's how many it takes to find the right combination for our personal biology. So I often use that example of our bodies being as different on the inside to explain why sometimes it takes some persistence, and it also takes some experimenting with the different products. So in your case, I wouldn't lose heart. I wouldn't lose confidence, because I've experienced personally just how effective the oils can be with sleep and with so many other things. Lifelong Vitality is another one of those products where sometimes it does take time, and sometimes it takes a lot of attention to notice a benefit. I know that most of my guy friends, my male friends, they're not as good at listening to their body and noticing what it needs. And so it's harder for me to convince guys to get on and stay on Lifelong Vitality for that reason. Women, I find they're much more in tune with their bodies and what it needs. And so Lifelong Vitality is much easier to get them onto. So, I guess I would just say, don't lose hope. It's going to be a process and a journey to find out what your body likes and what works. But it's the oils absolutely work. So, are you open to keep experimenting and trying?
Yes, I will. Yes, but I have another question. You said hitting a rank organically. This is not what I've been doing with silver. Does it make a difference? I mean, it was this Bogoman that
That's fine.
made this shot.
Okay, so silver was your goal. Which rank are you hitting organically? Premier?
Yes, not every month.
Okay, that's fine. That's great. Let's go ahead and dive into other. It looks like as I go across, you gave yourself a 5 on your ability to enroll and also inviting to change lives. So what do you feel like you need to do to improve your ability to enroll? Even if it's just moving it from a 5 to a 6, what do you feel you need to change that to a 6?
I think one thing is to Matthias, den Leuten nachgehen. Das heißt, den Leuten nachgehen.
To keep up with people, to phone them again, and
yeah, many people. I think I do have a way of not pushing people. this is very important for me, not to be pushy. So people always say, oh, that's so great, I love it, and I want this, but I do have to think about it. And I said, well, that's fine, of course, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to make them make a decision and feel like being pushed.
Sure.
So I always let them go, and I hate to call after them. And sometimes I just let them go. And this is one thing I really have to do, but I have been better in it. Yeah, one thing is really with close friends, I do always give them samples, but I'm kind of annoying for them, and I know that for many of them it would be so great to have the oils, and I don't know, there's something what keeps me away from it, because I always feel like being annoying to them. They sometimes even don't want my samples. So, no samples, of course.
Right. So you don't want to come across pushy, and so sometimes you don't follow up with samples or with people who come to class, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me share a little story and tell me what what your thoughts are. Imagine you go to a restaurant and the server comes, they seat you, they bring you water, and then they go away. And then they come back and they offer you some more water, but they don't take your order, they just walk away. And then they do this 4 or 5 times, and after after an hour and a half, they still haven't taken your order. How would you feel?
So did I understand it right? I ordered a water, but I didn't get it.
No, they.
No, maybe I translate.
Yeah.
Du gehst in ein Restaurant, der Kellner kommt und bringt dir Wasser. Nach einer Viertelstunde bringt dir nochmal Wasser. Nach einer halben Stunde bringt dir nochmal Wasser. Und nach 1,5 Stunden sitzt du immer noch mit deinem Wasser. Was würdest du denken?
Piss off.
Right. It would be very frustrating, right?
Yeah.
I took all of my time to come and to be in your space, and I expect to get what you have to offer, right? At a restaurant, you want what they have to offer. So the fact that people are showing interest and excited about what you've taught them, it's actually a disappointment to them if you don't follow up with them and take their order, to use the restaurant example, right? If you don't invite them to change their life and choose their enrollment kit, then you're like that server who doesn't take people's dinner orders. Does that make sense?
Ja. Kannst du noch mal das in Deutsch sagen, Matthias?
Ja, also das ist im Grunde so wie der Kellner. Ne? Der Kellner, du bist der Kellner und du bringst den Leuten immer nur Wasser. Und du musst irgendwann auch mal mit der Menükarte kommen und fragen, was sie nun gerne hätten. Und dann musst du auch beraten.
Ja.
Und das ist aber besonders lecker hier, weil sie nicht wissen, was da lecker ist auf der Karte.
Ja, that sounds good.
I have another good example. What helped me also was that somebody said, I don't know who it was we are not hunters. We are not hunting people. Mm-hmm. We are farmer. We go out with the seeds, look after the plants, put some water in, and put some other things in, and watch them growing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is the picture I have when I call up people, because our Sabines and our business works like this. She gets new people in, and I have to call them on the phone. I don't know them. I don't know them at all. Never seen before. Maybe once some weeks ago. I call them up, and I'm the farmer, and say, "Do you need water? Do you need more space to grow? Do you need this? Do you need that? How can I help?"
Yep. I love that analogy of farmer versus hunter, because we really do get to nurture everywhere we go. We get to find what the needs are, serve those needs, and develop the relationship. But it's not, and it's always coming from a space of service, right? So by not following up with these people, you're actually not serving them. You're not completing what you've started. And statistically, if people learn new information, but they don't take action on it within 48 hours, then most likely they never will. The law of statistics shows that there's less than 20% chance that they'll ever take action. So that's why we teach the follow-up, why it's so important, and why it should be done so quickly, because they probably just won't do anything. They'll just chalk it up as, oh, that was a nice evening that we spent at your class or in your one-on-one. So does that make sense why follow-up really is the best way that we can serve them?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So thank you for that other example, Matthias. I love that. So it sounds to me like the one thing that you get to focus on is the follow-up, reaching out. And some people might interpret, if you don't follow up with them, they might think, oh, she doesn't really care enough, or the product isn't important enough for her to follow up with me. And so they'll think, oh, maybe you were just into it for a while. Do you know what I mean? So that's another reason why follow-up is so important. It sends a very clear message. This product can and will change your life. And so let's get these tools into your house, into your home. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for allowing us to do some mentoring with you and sharing your journey with us.
Yes, thank you too.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay, Christian, let's look at your mentoring page. So let's see, are you unmuted? Can you try unmuting yourself, Christian? Oh, there we go. Okay, that worked. Okay, so I show that you have currently hitting Premier, and that your belief in the company opportunity is an 8, integrity is an 8, present the message is an 8, enroll is a 5. So let's start there. I think we talked earlier already about this and how you lack the confidence in yourself and you don't know when to enroll. So I think we've already addressed most of that. You said that you need to believe in yourself and raise consistency in what you do. Talk to me more about consistency. How do you feel like that's going to change your business?
Matthias, was ist Consistency?
Beständigkeit.
Ah, Beständigkeit. Das heißt, dass man konsequent an einem Thema dran bleibt.
Ganz genau.
Okay. Consistency, yeah. I like the products very much, and I can talk about them. About my experiences and experience I heard from other people. But when there's a situation I told you before in a group that I get nervous, then I have a lack of motivation. If this happens, then I'm not consequent in my doing. So probably I know I have to call the people after 2 days or 3 days, and then I don't do that. And I'm angry about myself this moment. And then I need some more days to motivate myself.
Got it.
And sometimes then it's too late.
Okay.
So I'm not I'm not acting on the same level the whole time.
Got it. So what do you think would happen if you were more consistent in your follow-up and in your activity?
I will be much more successful.
That's right. I'm glad you're self-aware. So I love that you said the words, I just need to motivate myself or give myself an incentive to do the follow-up. So what's something that would work for you? I have to do the same thing. I have to give myself little incentives. So what's something that you could reward yourself with for doing these things you know that you need to do?
I have to do something that gives me the feeling of success.
Okay.
So what I do mostly is sports. But I'm playing handball, so I need some people to do it. I can't do it myself alone.
Okay.
That's only once a week. So when I got doing the sports, I'm motivated. And then I have the next days acting. It's fine, but that's not enough. 1 day a week.
Yeah. What about food or movie, or is there another activity that you can use to reward yourself to create more positive association with doing the things you need to do?
If I would know, I like a lot of things to do, but the only thing that motivates to act is sports.
Okay. All right. So maybe can you say, if I do my good following up 3 days this week, then I can go play sport. But if I don't, then I can't. I can't go do sports until I do 3 good days of follow up. That work?
It's a good idea. you changed the situation.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I know that for myself, I know that when I have a big project or something that's maybe hard, or maybe I just haven't thought through all the steps, I know that I have to give myself a little bit of incentive. Maybe I get to go to a restaurant that I enjoy, or go for a jog, or something for myself that I would like to get me to take action, because otherwise it's too easy just to procrastinate, right? The things that are easy to do are easy not to do. So sometimes it's that simple. And I love the fact that you're aware that nothing pays off like success. Sport has its own success inherent in it, right? So maybe I don't know. Yeah, maybe try the 3-day thing, or come up with your own. I'll bet you can come up with something even better on your own.
Yeah, I tried. Good idea. Thank you.
I like it.
Maybe it's also an idea to do something with the upline. What Adish told us is, in relationship with other builders, with builders from our team, to come to an agreement. What should I do if I don't hear anything from you anymore? Mm-hmm. Should I call you? Should I not call you? Should I whatever. Yeah. So, and we did it with another person from our team, and she said, well, call me every 2 days. What's going on? Ask me. Yeah. Because then she know, tomorrow Matthias is calling me again at 9 o'clock and I have to do something until then. So this is not for always, because then you are in the boss situation again. But for a few days, just to, to get the point, come over this point of to make it a regular situation to do follow-ups.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another small thing you can do is choose an accountability partner, somebody that you can report to, and say, you know, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I need to do follow-up. So maybe you choose Matthias or someone else, and you say, I'm going to text you at 10 a.m. on each of those 3 days and tell you what I'll be doing, who I'll be following up with that day. And then at 10 p.m., you text and report on who you followed up with. And so now just having a simple level of accountability can create much more consistency in your work. I know some people who, when they decide to have a goal, they do that 5 days a week. They do the 10 and 10 is what they call it. They text at 10 a.m. what they're going to do, and 10 p.m. what they did do that day to their accountability partner. So just an idea.
I hate reporting.
You hate reporting.
I had to do it for more than 30 years in some companies.
I know. It's maybe do a quick video chat or make it fun.
I know what you mean. It's really other situations than I had in these companies. That's right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is all for you, right? This is not for their benefit. This is not. So we get to write our own story. We get to create our own.
I got it. If I have a plan at the beginning of the day, what I want to do today,
yeah.
In the evening I can see what did I really realize. So then I have success too if I get by my daily goals.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah. So it sounds like for you, the one thing is having the confidence to share, because you have the cookie and you're the Santa Claus, and then just consistency, right? Setting yourself up with a simple plan to be consistent and to do what you know needs to be done.
Yep.
Awesome. Anything else any other questions that you've got, or any other support that you'd like from Upline or anyone else?
I have really good support from my upline. There's any time I can speak with them. So my direct upline, also Matthias. So with my upline, I got now the plan. I told it before that they go with me to classes.
Mm-hmm.
I will do it, and they will train me at this moment. So I get more security to do it then for myself. And the next thing we plan together that we meet für die Nachhaltetelefonate, Matthias.
Follow-ups.
Follow-ups, and do it together first time. Also to train it.
Fantastic. The thing I love about working with Upline, sometimes they have just a little more experience, so maybe they have just a little more belief. If you don't have, a high score, with your belief on any of these things, you can lean on theirs. You can borrow their belief, right? Does that make sense? So you don't have to have perfect scores to succeed. Oftentimes, this is how our own belief grows, is by simply leaning on the belief of others. And you guys couldn't ask for better upline and support than Matthias and Sabine. They are leading the fastest growing team in Europe. I believe they still have the largest team in Germany, and they're amazing leaders. So you couldn't ask for a better belief to borrow from than Matthias and Sabine.
Okay. Yep. And I'm part of this team. I'm very proud of that.
Yes, you are. You're a big part. It's a great team to be part of.
Just beginner. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Well, does anybody have any final questions or thoughts before we wrap up? Okay.
Maybe I can say something. I'm so happy that Christian and Verena and Kerstin is in our team, and that they take these chances to talk with you. This is really a good step.
It's a pleasure.
That you do it.
Well, it's such an honor for us. I'm so grateful for technology that makes it so easy to connect over the miles and stay in touch. We're very privileged that we get to see. I mean, we've been to Germany a couple times and seen Matthias and Sabine, but I love connecting with each of you and the whole team. So we'd like to say that doTERRA has given us another family. So we have this global family that we connect with any time that we can. So it's great to be with you today and share some thoughts on what the one thing is for each of you in the next phase of your business. So thank you for all that you're doing, and thank you, Matthias, for bringing us together and for making this connection happen.
Okay. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Have a good day. We go to bed now.
Okay. It's very late for you. Have a good night, and all the best to each of you.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
You know.